WWP Genetics. We're thrilled to have you join us for another engaging and educational video. Today, I will be discussing the genetic blueprint. What seed genetics reveal about your final cannabis product. The foundation of every successful cannabis harvest begins long before the plant stretches toward the light. It begins with the seed. Just as a human's genetic code influences their appearance, potential, and health, the genetics of a cannabis seed play a critical role in determining the plant's final characteristics. From terpene profile to cannabinoid content, from growth patterns to disease resistance, seed genetics set the parameters within which the plant can express itself. When cultivators choose a seed, they are choosing a lineage, a heritage encoded with traits passed down through generations of careful breeding and wild adaptation. These genes dictate the plant's potential for yield, aroma, flavor, potency, and structure. A plant with strong indica lineage will likely produce a shorter plant, is bushier in growth, and more sedative effects. While a plant with sativa dominance usually will grow taller and deliver a more uplifting cerebral high. However, the story doesn't end with the basic indica-sativa dichotomy. Modern cannabis genetics are a complex web of hybrids, phenotypes, and chemivores, and this expresses themselves differently depending on the environment and also the cultivation techniques. Genetics influence cannabinoid expression, determining whether a plant will be rich in THC, CBD, or lesser known minor cannabinoids like CBG, CBN, or THCA, or even THCV. These chemical compositions directly impacts the effects and medicinal value of the final product. A seed bred for high THC content, for example, is not just about delivering potency, but also carries implications for how the plant handles stress, how quickly it matures, and how it reacts to environmental changes. Likewise, genetics affect the development of cannabinoids under different light cycles and temperatures, which is especially important in regions with less predictable climates. A strand with stable genetics is more likely to maintain consistent cannabinoid ratios across multiple harvests, which is very important for both medical patients and commercial growers seeking reliability. Terpene profiles are those aromatic compounds responsible for the scent and flavor of cannabis. They are genetically encoded and greatly affect the consumer's sensory and therapeutic experience. Some strands are naturally predisposed to produce limonene, which brings a citrusy aroma and adds an uplifting effect, while others may express myrcene, and this brings the earthy tones and has a calming effect, or the calming sensation. Still others may be rich in pinene, caryophyllene, or lanolin, each of which contributes to a unique profile that enhances or modifies the plant's effects. These compounds do more than contribute to flavor, they also interact with the cannabinoids to create the entourage effect. The entourage effect is the full spectrum of the plant compounds that work together to enhance the therapeutic and the psychoactive benefits. For consumers, especially those using cannabis for health purposes. The genetics that define terpene expression can make the difference between a strand that alleviates the anxiety or may enhance the anxiety in a bad way. So, whenever you go to the dispensary, see if your bud tender is aware of the entourage effect. Ask them how the entourage effect uh, may may be applied by this strand. The final appearance of the flower is also largely dictated by its genetic makeup. Color variation in cannabis, such as deep purples, vibrant oranges, or rich blues, often result from genetic traits that influence pigmentation under specific environmental conditions. For example, like cooler temperatures during the late flowering stages. Trichome density, which determines not only the plant's visual frostiness but also its cannabinoid and terpene concentration. This is also a genetic trait. A strand which a strand with strong resin production genes will glisten with trichomes and typically deliver a more potent and flavorful product. Even the shape and density of the buds, whether they are tight and compact or light and airy, can be traced back to the plant's genetic origin. Some growers concentrate on the appearance of the flower, other growers concentrate on the aroma. However, most growers concentrate on the yield potential. This is another factor determined by seed genetics. Some strands are naturally high yielding, producing abundant flowers when given the right care, while others may sacrifice volume for higher resin content for shorter flowering times. Certain genetic lines are more resistant to mold, pests, and diseases, and this is crucial for outdoor cultivars or those growing in high humidity environments. Stable genetics give growers peace of mind that their plants will not only thrive but also avoid surprises like herming or, or hermaphrodism, which can ruin an entire harvest by introducing unwanted pollen. Seed genetics also determine how a plant responds to training techniques and nutrient intake. Some strands flourish with aggressive topping, with supercropping, or low stress training methods. This helps to develop multiple cola sites and can increase the yield, while others may be more fragile and, and can't be really touched at all because it will induce growth stunting. Even the length of the flowering cycle and the plant's appetite for macro and micronutrients are reflectors of the genetic blueprint. A strand that flowers in 7 weeks versus a strand that needs 11 weeks to reach maturity carries implications for cultivation timelines, which has an impact on harvest schedule, which then has an impact on when the product can hit the market, or which is called market readiness. Understanding these genetic timeframes is also vital for planning indoor grows, but especially vital for outdoor grows because of the changing seasons. Understanding seed genetics is not just about chasing high THC numbers or unique terpene profiles. It is about reading the story encoded in the DNA and aligning it with the cultivator's goals, the environmental conditions, and the end user's desired outcome. Whether growing for recreational use, therapeutic applications, or large scale commercial production, genetics are the key to unlocking the plant's full potential. In today's cannabis landscape, where consumer demand is rapidly growing, the importance of starting with superior genetics cannot be overstated. Knowing the blueprint of the seed is more than just the start of the plant. It is the silent architect of everything to come. Kindly comment below on what characteristic you like expressed in your flower. We hope you found today's video educational. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share to stay updated on our latest content. For more exciting insights, be sure to check out our brother channel at WWP Logistics. See you in the next video.